Rise and shine. You're watching WCTV Eyewitness News. The Good Morning Show starts now.
It is 6:30 right now, and as you see, the sun is coming up. This is a live view from our tower camera right outside of our station.
A little haze or something on there, huh?
Yeah. Oh, that's the moon right there in the middle. Whoa. And I heard you mention full moon earlier. I didn't even realize we had a full moon.
Yep. Today is the full moon there for you.
They're trying to inch it closer for
I like it. You see it toward the left-hand side of the screen there?
Yeah, look at that.
Yeah, it's doing a zoom for us. Thank you.
Okay. Oh, see, they're awesome back there.
Full moon in Scorpio, by the way, for whatever that's worth to you.
Okay. I'm not sure what that means.
It's supposed to help give you deep thoughts.
Oh, deep thoughts.
And more sensual feelings.
Oh.
So you get all that going for you on a Monday. There's something for a Monday morning, right?
Okay. Right. Sensual feelings.
Yeah, there you go. Okay. I'm going to talk weather. It's going to be hot feelings here. It's going to be middle of summertime. Sorry about that, guys. It's getting to be that point in the year where these temperatures start doing their thing, and we start to count on those showers to help cool things down. I hope we find some, because otherwise it's going to get kind of warm out there. 64 right now, Tallahassee. Bainbridge 67. It's only 61 in Live Oak. We'll take more of those. I do see some showers around the region, but none over here where we are, and likely aren't going to be very many, not during the morning hours. With a little bit of luck, we'll generate some this afternoon. Futurecast is trying, but I don't love our chances, and I think today is probably our best chances for the next couple of days. It's going to get hot this week. We have cracked 90 twice officially so far in May. I think we get there today, and I think we got easier chances to get up into the 90s the next several days. So we are talking hot. I'll break it down, full forecast, in just a couple of minutes.
Nearly 950 days ago, a mistrial was declared in the case of Catherine McBenoit. She's accused of conspiring to kill FSU law professor Dan Markell. Now we are hours away from the start of the retrial and jury selection. Our Michelle Roberts joins us now live in the studio for what we can expect today. Michelle, good morning.
Good morning, Lenitra. The first 50 of 200 potential jurors are set to appear in Leon County Court at 8:30 this morning. Jury selection could last 2 days or more. This all began in 2014 when Dan Markell was murdered in Tallahassee. The 2019 trial ended in a hung jury for McBenoit, life in prison for the father of her children, Sigfrido Garcia, and a conviction for Luis Rivera after a plea deal. Now for McBenoit's retrial. On Friday, Judge Robert Wheeler explained how important evidence will be presented to the jury. The judge said a transcript of the wiretap calls between McBenoit and Markell's ex-brother-in-law, Charlie Adelson, won't be allowed, even though they were allowed in the first trial.
We're dealing with an audio that needs to be authenticated. It can only be authenticated from my research on the law, either by the speakers or by the and some type of expert that can identify the voices.
A few weeks ago, Judge Wheeler also decided the transcript for the Dolce Vita restaurant audio, which was enhanced for this trial, will not be allowed. The judge will not allow the jury to ask questions during the trial. There's dozens of potential witnesses on the witness lists, including Sigfrido Garcia, Luis Rivera, also Markell's ex-wife, Wendy Adelson. Also, McBenoit may also testify in her own trial. And we will have complete coverage starting this afternoon as jury selection gets underway. And on Wednesday, opening arguments are expected to begin. Our Jacob Murphy will be in court over the next 2 weeks, bringing us every moment of this high-profile trial. Lenitra, Rob, back to you.
All right. Thank you so much, Michelle, for that update.
Yeah. All right. Covering Leon County now. Some tense moments outside a Leon County grocery store yesterday afternoon. This video sent to us by viewer Sonny Gwatney showing Leon County deputies along with TPD pointing a weapon towards a man they say was carrying a hatchet. This is in front of the Publix at Crawfordville Highway and Capitol Circle Southwest. LCSO saying it started around 12:30 in the afternoon following a report of a theft at a nearby business. The man allegedly holding up the hatchet at an employee when confronted. Now, deputies eventually used a taser and arrested the man. That man, 42-year-old John Rawls. He's charged with 2 counts of aggravated assault, carrying a concealed weapon, and resisting arrest.
Staying in Tallahassee, a man is injured following a shooting in the 500 block of Chapel Drive. TPD says it happened just after 1 a.m. Sunday. Right now, there are no suspects and no arrests have been made. The extent of the victim's injuries remain unknown. In national news, more than a dozen people are dead after mass shootings in 4 U.S. cities over the weekend.
Yeah, versions of this heartbreaking story repeat all too often. Amy Kiley reports this time the calls for change, including something different.
3 down inside so far, 2 outside radio.
You got more in here.
44 people are dead or injured after shootings in these cities over the weekend. These women were killed Saturday at a supermarket in Buffalo, New York.
A shooter with body armor who didn't live in this community, who traveled from 3 hours away with the express purpose to kill people.
Near Los Angeles, the victims were at a church on Sunday.
We believe a group of churchgoers detained him and hogtied his legs with an extension cord and confiscated at least 2 weapons from him.
In Milwaukee, 21 people were shot Friday night in one mass shooting and 2 other shootings near an NBA playoffs game. Along with grief come calls for change. Some want stricter gun laws.
Other states do not have the same laws that we have, and people are just crossing those borders.
Others are focusing on something different: social media. Investigators are examining an online manifesto attributed to the supermarket shooting suspect, filled with racist tirades.
When will the Justice Department aggressively pursue these domestic terrorist cells that are populating on social media platforms?
Some people just want a change of heart.
We have to talk about something else in our society: love, forgiveness, healing. We think we're fine. We are not. We are a sick nation in need of great help.
All right, so there was that story about all that. Another shooting taking place at a flea market north of Houston on Sunday, where 2 people were killed and 3 people injured in that incident.
While many quarantined at home during the pandemic, people like doctors and nurses could not. Knowing the dangers of COVID, they bravely continued working. The same goes for law enforcement, but as our Abby Walton tells us, many of those men and women paid the ultimate sacrifice while trying to keep us safe.
Detective Davis, his number one priority in life, it seemed to be, to me, was to put smiles on other people's face.
For almost 17 years, Detective Rodney Davis worked for the Waycross Police Department, trying to keep the small city he was raised in safe.
With me being the new detective, a lot of people were kind of hesitant to speak with me. But as soon as they seen Rodney, they were like, this is what happened, this is who did it. You know, like we'd get out of the truck and case solved, you know, just because it was Rodney.
Detective Davis's sense of duty continuing throughout the pandemic, working cases knowing an invisible threat existed everywhere he went.
He didn't have that option, you know, to stay home or just to actually sit in the office or anything like that. We still had to make contact with people. Crime never stops.
The police department says it believes Detective Davis contracted COVID while answering a call with known cases. Less than 2 weeks later, he tested positive. Days after, on August 20th, 2021, Detective Davis died from COVID-19. He was 54 years old.
It's left a huge hole, not just in the office, but in our hearts, because we're a family up there.
The Waycross detectives housed just a few streets down from the police department. Their office, close quarters. Detective Davis's absence still very much felt almost 9 months later.
Everybody has like their own spot that they sit at the table, and so I sit at one end and he always sat at the other end.
That chair still remains open during briefings, his cubicle empty until recently. Sergeant Baker moving in, honoring Detective Davis with this angel decal.
I think more so him being a good detective, he was a good person.
Detective Farina Kinlaw says she's known Detective Davis since they were kids.
He was all about doing what was right. He was big on helping his family members. He loved his family.
The department says learning his name would go on the National Memorial Wall in D.C. brought them to tears.
We had each other 6, that's what they call it, but we had each other's back. And to know that one of our people are going to be honored this way, wow, you know, it's awesome.
Abby has shared several stories from Police Week in D.C. You can watch them right now on WCTV.tv.
Time now for First Alert Weather with meteorologist Rob Nucatola.
All right, we're looking at a pretty warm day today with decent sunshine early. And I do think there's the chance to get some scattered showers later on this afternoon. It'd be great to see some. Not only do we have all those thirsty lawns, gardens, and greens out there, but without a few showers, it's going to get awfully hot. And I think that's going to be our concern for the next several days this week. There's a boundary off to our north and west trying to sag into our part of the southeast, but it's that time of the year when those boundaries really struggle. And we start to look down to the south for that sea breeze to crank up and hopefully help shake a few showers out from the clouds. We're going to have plenty of available moisture around, and a little breeze out of the southwest today will try to bring in even more moisture. So we may even start to notice more and more of that icky, sticky feel out there. It is going to have more of a summer-like look and feel, I think, for most days this week. 61 right now in Live Oak and in Cross City, 64 Quincy and Tallahassee. We're at 63 in Thomasville. We're at 63 in Valdosta. So about where you'd expect temperatures to be, maybe a little warmer than normal this morning. There isn't a lot of wind out there, so we're looking for some of that fog. A couple of spots with some patchy fog, but nothing widespread or real dense. This boundary tries to sag into our area later today and this evening, and maybe it can trigger a few showers, but doesn't really look like there's going to be a lot of fanfare with that. And then as that boundary more or less stays stuck off to our north, we're bottled up in the warm, humid side, and that's the way things are going to play out, I think, for the next few days. Now, there are chances for showers. We're at that point in the year now where there's almost always going to be at least some chance for at least a few isolated showers. Today, maybe Thursday and Friday, those rain chances start to increase with a new piece of energy that's scheduled to get here at the end of the week. But that's not until the end of the week, and that's with a new piece of energy. So for today and the next couple of days, maybe a few showers. Otherwise, getting hot and staying hot, we could start having several hours over the next few afternoons where those top temperatures climb up into the lower 90s or even a little bit warmer. Those rain chances, they're better than zero, but they're only a little bit better than zero. So I don't expect everybody to get wet these next couple of days. Instead, what I expect is lots of sunshine, that hazy, milky looking setup to the sky. That's a lot more common in the summer months, and those top temperatures that want to climb into the 90s and probably start getting close to 90 by lunchtime and staying there until either the sun goes down or until we get a few scattered showers to knock those temperatures down.